Hey, welcome to Everyday Reviews and welcome to beautiful Franklin, Tennessee. We're here for the launch of this. This is the 2025 Nissan Armada. This thing is all new. New power plant, new style, new interior, a lot of new technology, and for the first time ever, a brand new PRO-4X model for those outdoor enthusiasts. This does share a lot of things with its luxury sibling, the QX80, which we did test. So it's gonna be interesting how this compares to that one. Let's have a look. Exterior size is roughly the same as the outgoing version. However, the style has been definitely updated for sure, but it still has that rugged Armada look. If you want to compare this to the QX80, which is its luxury sibling, that one definitely has a lot more style to it, especially in that front grille where it's kind of emulating that bamboo. This has a nice flat area. It's very flush. I really like how they've incorporated the light treatment with the chrome on this. This is the Platinum Reserve, by the way. You have LED headlamps here. Standard, you get 20-inch wheels on this Platinum Reserve, 22 inches on this bad boy. Now coming around to this side, this is my favorite part of it. First of all, we have a two-tone paint job on here. I love the brushed chrome underneath, and it doesn't go around the windows, so it really accentuates this second half here. And this third window, it's integrated completely with the black top, and it just really makes like this whole area is just floating. It really has a upscale look for sure. Now look how that black section we talked on the side just really extends all the way across the back here, including the black roof spoiler. It all looks like one piece. Absolutely love that. It's so clean looking, and they've even hidden the rear wiper underneath that roof spoiler. Standard, you get LED tail lamps, and this has an available full-length light bar going straight across. Now, all Armadas come standard also with a tow hitch with the 7-pin wiring harness that's hidden right under there. Also standard is a power lift gate. Higher trims, actually you get the hands-free option. Up it comes, nice and quiet there. And now, behind the third row, 24% more room back here. So that's a big, big plus. This is a Platinum Reserve, so it does have air suspension. We actually have two buttons here so we can raise or lower the vehicle. It's good for loading things in or out. Now, of course, if you want more room, we actually have power folding third row seats and a remote folding second row. So if you actually fold them all down, as you see here, you get a nice flat area, great for loading flat things in and larger items. If you wanted to, could you actually car camp in here? Absolutely, other than with this version with the captain seats, you're gonna have a little bit of a gap. You could probably fill that up though. So let's have a look inside. All right, this is where it gets really interesting. We're gonna spend a little bit more time talking about the interior of this new Armada because there's just so much to talk about, so much new technology, a lot of premium features and a lot of standard features. First of all, seating-wise, you get the SL, which is the base trim. That comes with leatherette, but everything else, like basically Platinum and above, gets leather, quilted leather, but then when you get to the Platinum Reserve, you get the better leather, plus you get massaging seats on here. It actually feels pretty good. Also standard, a 600-watt 12-speaker Klipsch audio system. Now, we first saw this type of system in the QX80, and we were very, very impressed with it. It's very clean, really, really great sounding system. Every trim other than the base SL gets dual 14.3-inch screens. The base gets dual 12.3-inch. You get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's a Google-based system, but one thing that I really do like, okay, a lot of things are through the screen, and we're kind of getting used to that nowadays. I think nice and clear, but in the center area, you actually have a lot of tactile buttons. Give me buttons like, for instance, camera button. Talking about cameras, this top trim has an HD enhanced intelligent 3D around view monitor. Yeah, that's a mouthful, but it also has something we saw in that QX80, which is a wide front view. So you can actually have both screens displaying your front view. This also has the invisible hood, which we actually tested on the QX80 and also on this program. Where it's really handy is, let's say you're off-roading and you want to see what's under you or what's going to go under you. You can kind of see through the hood. It's a very valuable feature for instances like that for sure. There is a rear view digital mirror that takes a camera. Also, you have a standard dash camera, and that's for front and also inside too. And what's kind of cool is you can use that inside one to do, fun stuff with the family and take fun shots. And you can also access the cameras through the Nissan Connect app. So you can actually do it remotely. That's a big feature. This actually uses an SD card as well. So you can pop that in and look at your footage. Absolutely love that. And that's standard. The middle area here has wireless charging, a couple drink holders. You can actually close that up there. Even though I'm not a fan of push button gear selectors, this one's actually integrated quite nicely. It's really not taking up a lot of room on here. So you get a large panel roof that not only opens, but you have a power sunshade as well. Let's go in the back. In the second row, you can either have a bench or captain seats on the top Platinum Reserve. In the second row, you can either have a 2 or 3 passenger configuration, because on the very top trim, the Platinum Reserve, it comes with a bench, as all the others do, or you have an option of going to the captain seats. It's at about $1,000 more. And this is what I really like, because too many manufacturers now on the top trim, it's only captain seats, so you actually lose one space. And for all those people that want to have the top trim, but don't want to lose a spot, this is a great option. So a decent amount of legroom. You sit actually fairly high, which is quite nice for your legs. Lots of room for your feet. I didn't even mention though, that the front seats actually have over 4 inches more legroom now than the outgoing model. Headroom is adequate. Now these seats, you know that they fold forward, but they do recline all the way back here. Now this is new for the Armada. The second row seats actually slide forward and backward. So if you want more room for the rear, you can actually slide it forward. And this applies to both the captain seats, or if you get the bench as well. So that is a very nice and new feature that you get here. We have dual zone climate control back here. All the connectivity here is done by USB-C. Air vents up top, nice grab hook, a coat hook here. One thing that I'm surprised at though, especially even on the very top trim, there's no window shade, like power or manual, and that's kind of odd. I'm not sure if maybe these are pre-production models, but maybe it's coming, I'm not sure. But this middle area also has USB-Cs as well as drink holders. This console is fixed, it does not come out. But this does a nice pass through to get into that third row in case you don't want to actually tumble the seats to get back there. Speaking of getting back there, let's do it. And we mentioned we could actually just go through the center, or we can flip up the seat. It slides really, really nice. And Nissan's always been great innovators in second row sliding seats, especially even if you had a child seat here, you could actually still have it there without having to take it out. Anyways, let's get in. All right, let's pull that second row down. I'm almost 5'11", and my knees are barely almost touching the back. My head is not touching the roof liner, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, they've increased the third row legroom by over 5 inches, and I don't remember actually sitting in the third row in the previous gen Armada, but I don't think I would want to sit back there if this was 5 inches bigger now, especially for a long period at all. But yeah, you sit up actually fairly high, which is nice. You're not, some of the third rows sometimes are really low, and the seats are fairly comfortable. They're not really, really hard or flat at all. We do have a power control here if we want to tilt it back to get a little bit more comfy back here. We have our own air vent. We have USB-Cs, drink holders, and another thing though, this back bench has 3 seat belts, so you can have 3 people back here, also 2 in the front, or 3 in the second row, and 2 in the front. So this is either a 7 or 8 passenger vehicle. We go into the middle. Now this is the place to be. If you're a taller rider and you have to sit in the third row, put them in the middle, because you have nothing obstructing your legs or your knees at all. So this is normally the middle seat's not the place to be, but in this case, this is the one. But yeah, otherwise, it is a very usable space back here. Time to drive. Let's go. Gotta say, this area of Tennessee is absolutely beautiful. Before we even get into the drive, it's the scenery, the wildlife, the roads, thumbs up for sure. Anyways, while we're enjoying these roads in this new Armada, let's talk about what's new under the hood, because we have a new power plant. Gone is the V8, but don't worry, hey, you're getting more power, more torque, and better fuel economy with a new 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. Yes, it's very similar to what we saw on the new QX80. So horsepower goes up by 25, so 425 horses, and torque goes up by 103 pound-feet, so 516 pound-feet of torque, matched to a 9-speed automatic transmission in this new Armada, and better fuel economy. Not only that, better fuel economy, and this uses regular fuel, whereas the QX80, which does have a little bit more horsepower, uses premium. So that's still, it's a big deal. 25 horsepower, but using regular, that's very, very good. In Canada, all Armadas come standard with all-wheel drive. We don't get a two-wheel drive version up in Canada. That's okay. Most Canadians prefer the all-wheel drive anyways. So what's it like to drive? Well, first of all, remember, this is based off of a truck platform. And normally it's really, really, could be bouncy and very trucky. This new frame that they're using has more torsional rigidity, and lateral stiffness is increased by over 50% as well. You match that to the adaptive air suspension that we have here, and this thing, even through some of these corners and everything else, it rides fairly flat, and that's really important when you are dealing with a tall vehicle, as tall as this Armada is. A lot of times you get a lot of body roll. Well, that adaptive suspension is really taking care of that. And the ride isn't actually too stiff, but it's definitely not too cushy either, so that's also a good thing. This suspension can also raise or lower, so we get 9.6 inches of regular ground clearance, which is pretty good, and it will actually raise another 2.5 inches up or down, depending on what drive mode you're in and what situation. At the lowest, it'd be like an entry height, on the highest when you're going off-roading, and in the middle, it's just like regular around town. And when you go on the highway though, at certain speeds, it will lower just so you get better aerodynamics for here. Now, speaking of highway, all Armadas come standard with ProPilot Assist. Now, on the base SL, you get the ProPilot Assist 1.0, and you go to the very top of the chain on this Platinum Reserve, you get the ProPilot Assist 2.1. That's going to give you your semi-autonomous driving on the highways hands off, because it's using mapped highways with the program and with the system. And yeah, so it's the latest system. If you find yourself within your commute, for instance, dealing with a lot of traffic a lot of times, or long monotonous highway, freeway drives, you might really want to consider looking into the top trim to be able to get that, because it really is so handy, whether it's this system or others in the market that are similar to it. If you're looking for something a little bit more rugged for your new Armada, they have the new Armada PRO-4X. The PRO-4X gets a different appearance. So first of all, you get these lava red recovery hooks. You can't miss those. You get skid plates on here as well. The lava red Armada in the back it's hot, I think. It looks really good. The front grille, instead of that one big chrome piece, you get this segmented area, and you get different wheels and tires. So you get the 20-inch wheels, but you get all-terrain tires. We're gonna put those to the test right now for sure, so that's going to be really good. What else do you get? Well, you get the adaptive air suspension, which is really nice. So you can get yourself nice and high for more clearance, over 2 inches more. One thing exclusive to the PRO-4X is a locking rear diff, as we're gonna go up this hill. Whoa, whoa, and up to the top. These all-terrain tires really make a big difference. They're just like loaded with clay right now, and so it's quite slick. There's a few logs, small logs we got there, but we do have some protection with the skid plates. And we mentioned that invisible hood, how invaluable it is when you're in real tight spots here, we got logs, we got rocks, we really want to see what's underneath and in the front of us. It's very handy. Get some wheels up, as you can see. Now, you're not going to do any major bouldering and rock crawling with your Armada, even with the Pro-4X. But if you happen to go and have to cross maybe service ditches and things like this on your way to the cottage, it's going to be child's play. No problem at all. Zero problem. So easy. Okay, do not try this at home, you kids. This is in an isolated, controlled area. We have blocked our view on the windshield. We're going to use just the cameras. And look at for the view. We got the front view, we have two side views for our wheels, and we have a course that we're gonna do. Remember, don't try this at home. We're all professionals, right? All right, here we go. This is kind of creepy, like it really is. So you can use the guidelines. It's actually kind of making me a little bit motion sick because using the screen, but I can see the hay bale on that side, hay bale on this side, and then I can continue on. Go across these wooden ties here. It's so handy to be able to see both sides where the edge of the tire. It's like walking a tightrope here. And we're gonna drop down. There we go. We get the thumbs up. All right.
Nicely done.
All right.
Perfect.
Perfect, excellent. Driving around town with this vehicle, it's fairly quiet. There is a little bit of a rumble from this engine at lower speeds, I find. But once you get going, it kind of disappears. There's pretty good sound isolation in here, so you can enjoy your Klipsch audio system. And yeah, but one thing, even though they've kind of taken away a lot of the truckiness that you would probably find in a truck, there's still truck DNA here. You do feel that you're driving something substantial. The steering is not extremely light, so there's that. And yeah, you're riding on a platform with a lot of weight. So they've just done a really good job balancing everything out to not take away completely the truck experience. All right, that's our look at the brand new Nissan Armada. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm really curious. My final thoughts, I think Nissan has done a pretty good job on this new truck, and it kind of needed it. It was getting a little long in the tooth. Style-wise, yeah, I mentioned I love this top part here. It's not overdone at all. I think it's got a good style to it. That Pro-4X has, I like those red accents and the fender flares that it has. And that's also a nice bonus that this one comes in that first ever Pro-4X. If you do find yourself going off-roading a little bit more, that is definitely going to be the one to get. Then you have the engine, more power, more torque, and better fuel economy. Hey, who doesn't like that? And the technology inside and all the premium appointments are a big plus. So yeah, not everybody needs a three-row full-size SUV, but if you do and you need to tow something, the Armada should be looked at. So what's it gonna cost to get into this? In Canadian dollars, starts at $85,000 for the base SL, but you do get a lot of content with that. You get the Klipsch stereo, you get the power liftgate, you get the dash camera, all those things come standard. If you go for the top of the line trim that we have here, which is a Platinum Reserve with the captain seats, that's gonna run you 106,000 Canadian dollars, but that's everything, the 22-inch wheels, ProPilot Assist 2.1, the semi-aniline seats with the massage, you're getting it all for that. So yeah, it's not inexpensive, but if you want to compare this and you're thinking about getting a QX80, which one to get, well, you're definitely going to save some money by getting this. It's not going to have a lot of the luxury appointments that the QX80 has, but a lower price. And another thing, this one uses regular fuel. So not only are you saving on the truck itself, but you're going to save at the pumps. So it's up to you. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye. Like always, if you enjoyed this video or any content on the channel, I have a lot of videos and not just automotive. We have tech, outdoor equipment, including robotic lawnmowers and snow blowers, and even travel, so something for everyone. I would really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free, and it allows me to continue creating more content like this for you. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye.